Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Greedfall. Last episode, I spent way too long trying to use a key on the door that it wasn't supposed to be used on and just getting immensely frustrated by things when I was supposed to talk to someone the whole time. We eventually freed all the imprisoned natives, and some surprisingly imprisoned Nauts, which I didn't expect. And learned quite a bit about what was going on. Now that that's done, well, we need to go speak with Burren, because I have some words to give to him. Fortunately, we can teleport very quickly. Governor Burren, where are you? Because I'm probably going to have to punch you in the face. I have every right to, after everything I've been going through. You're gonna have a lot of backtracking and defense, and this is and considering we were effectively poisoned.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
Reveal what was discovered.
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiments. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The Denea Exregao are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
The Dr. Asili.
Can you tell me anything about Dr. Asili?
Oh no, that's anything about
him? He is a man of remarkable knowledge. One of our most brilliant sages.
You already told me that, Your Excellency.
He is one of those rare men who master alchemy, mathematics, and naturalism with equal assiduity. Anatomy has no secrets for him, and medicine is his passion. Do you realize that it was he who perfected the inoculation technique?
Inoculation? What is that?
A novel treatment that allows us to fabricate immunity to sickness, such as the pox. If any man can find a remedy for the Malachor, it would be him.
Right. Anyway,
I have
leaving
to go.
here.
Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
So I guess my plans will come in later. But we have the trial. Let's go find the attorney and speak with him. And I'm pretty sure I know what this whole thing here is going to have parallels to. A certain thing that happened in history where a certain person associated with certain people performed certain actions that were utterly inhumane, but advanced our medical knowledge very far. So we're going to have that big question drop on our heads, aren't we? I know where this is going. This guy will answer for his crimes, without a doubt.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Burren told me to pay you a visit.
Oh, it is you who arrested Dr. Asili and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the Doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I could convince some of the Doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin Dorsey. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
And witnesses I will get.
Soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
And it seems we can talk to Afra as well. How about we start with that?
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Talk about her master.
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Ask what she knew about the experiments.
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him.
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
And what's your opinion on the excesses of science?
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Teleme.
And let's ask about the need for such a method.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Will you participate in the trial?
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
That is all, thank you.
I must leave you.
So, we've got a lot that we can do here. We need to convince him not to testify, have the dark powder analyzed, meet with the survivors in Vigshadir, and question the researchers at the Hikmet laboratory. Quite a bit to do. We'll start by running over to testify have the Knots testify. Then we'll come back and go to the laboratory, get the powder analyzed and speak with the people there, and then go to Vigshadir. They may not care too much about the natives, but having at least someone there testify would at least provide something. And even though we have enough to basically damn him forever, I want to damn him for eternity. Oh, the bloody lag. I have a feeling I need to go around to this building. Yes. Oh, crap! Hold on. Save the knot.
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the Doctor's trial.
The Doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you.
Your
word will be crucial during the trial.
Nice to have someone who's actually willing to join in, and I wouldn't have to convince because of fear. I think this was good. That was a nice touch there. Alright. Now, let's go to the laboratory. They, I imagine, might require a little convincing. We're probably going to have to give them a little excuse on they were only following orders, or they might not desire to testify. Let's see here. Okay, there's a couple in the room here.
I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
Ah. Ask her about Dr. Asili's current reputation.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly.
Oh, goody.
Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
Ask her about her work here.
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
Well, let's ask her to testify.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Honor's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial.
Okay, good. Now, about this powder.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
Please do.
So, what is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients.
The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder.
Oh, great.
A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe a silly would do such a thing.
Oh, I certainly can.
These are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor.
Thank you very
I must leave
much.
you. What she saw working alongside a silly obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Indeed. And I think there's one more person that we can speak to here. I believe someone upstairs. I don't know who it is, though. Yeah, in the room over here.
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
Asked him about his work.
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched.
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
I mean, he's not wrong. Asked him about the current reputation.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Will you testify?
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city. But let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Siora, please stay back. Convince him to testify for the prosecution. Ask Afra for help.
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, Desade. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Asili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It
Okay.
is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Indeed. One more place that we need to go. And that's over to Vigshadi, or was it? What's this? Old research documents of Honor. This file contains the notes of Dr. Honor. From what you understand of his sketches and notes, he sought to discover how patients were contaminated and focused on the water the patients might have ingested. On the file, you can see words which were obviously written by Dr. Asili saying, "Completely useless research, give up Honor, we have much better things to do." Well, that's, unfortunate. This way? Yes. Alright, I believe we're going to need to do a teleportation. Or fast travel, whatever you want to call it. Yes, we are. So let's get to our house. We also have a whole lot of loot that we can probably sell or give to people, but I'll take care of that in the next episode, because the next episode is going to be a whole bunch of more minor things. I've already got plans for what it's going to be. Alright, we're traveling to the village of Vigshadir in Frasonegad. Yes, yes, don't care. Okay. One more person for the trial.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vigshadir.
Ah.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
Well,
No.
that too.
I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And
Well,
the
thank
mad
you.
lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
Alright, we've got all the evidence we need, and it is quite a bit. He is going to go away for a long time. That is, if he's not executed, which is entirely possible. This episode may go a little long, depending on how long the trial scene goes. But we'll see how things go. Why were you flying? Oh, the bloody lag. Stop with the lag, please. Yeah, this way. There we go. Roundabout this way, I think. Oh god, I gotta go all the way around here. I took the wrong route, didn't I? Or was this the only route? I don't know. It's right here.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
Let's see. Talk about testimonies of the Naughts.
A Naut victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
Okay, the Islanders.
The Islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the Islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
Alright, the Scholars.
I managed to convince the scientists in the governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I mean, one of them was
I
a
even
direct
got a
witness.
testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
Alright, and Afra.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
Alright, and talking about the diseased blood concentrate.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the Malachor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Indeed. And you know what? We'll start the trial in the next
I'm going to continue my
episode.
investigation.
Just because it is only 5 minutes now till the end of the episode. So, yeah, seems like a decent place to pause. Next episode, the trial. And then after that, a bit of a running around to take care of a few things I want to take care of. But that'll be in the next episode. So, until then, I'm Chester44. That is Desarde, Siora, and Afra. This has been a Let's Play of Greedfall. And I shall see you all next time.